Hello, everybody. How are you? How is everything? I've been in quite some turbulent times, but really, really good ones. I don't know about you guys. And I don't know if you have seen that already, but I've actually placed another program which I will dive into a little bit later in today's video. But it's so exciting, and I'm so happy to be able to share this with you and to really bring something into this world that is helping and supporting you on a total new level that hasn't existed for many of you. And I believe it's really, really helpful. So let me dive into this just a little bit later in this video. What I want to do today is actually looking into mm, a statement, I would almost say, I received. And it's a statement that is about why is no one really believing in me? Why do people not support me? Why is it that I feel I have some kind of things to share, but no one is really there? Like, kind of, they leave before I even start talking. Why is that, right? Why is that? Mm, it's not about having the full answer ready. And see, every one of us has to find his or her own answer to this. I can tell you my answer. And my answer, of course, is never going to be, and this is so, so dear to me, my answer is never going to be the full answer, I don't know, the this is it, right? It's one answer, but it could be that for you, you have to add something else. And it's about being present to there might be something else for you. I'm giving you options. I'm sharing you an option. But it's never the absolute truth, because no one of us can share the absolute truth, which is why we have to be so careful that we are not falling into this trap to just listen to one single person or one single viewpoint. It's important to have different perspectives so that we can have our own inner truth, right? If we are actually meeting the first time, we are having a coffee session today. I was really about not to drink coffee and share this with you, but then I was like, it's kind of like a coffee topic time. So yeah, here we are, right? Here we are. Um, we are not doing this always, but I think we are sharing quite some time with each other. And I do know that many of you are actually coming back every single week. And, I really enjoy that. So, for people who don't know me yet, my name is Patricia. I'm a life coach. And yeah, I'm on here, I don't know, quite a while now. And I'm sharing weekly topics that are about to transform your life, that are about really looking deeply into who you are. Ultimately, all my content goes down to who are you, and as what or who do you want to show up? What is important to you? Let's get down to this thing that you may never experience fully. That's not even the part of this game here. That's not even the part of this discussion. But it's about not playing fake. It's about not wearing masks. If you have been tired wearing masks, if you have been tired to be someone you're not, being someone because your parents want you to be like this or that, you kind of wear a mask in front of your friends or whatsoever. I'm trying to uncover all of this. I'm trying to show people how to heal from neglecting themselves, right? With this said, yeah, hit that like button. Also, make sure to subscribe to this video, and let's just spread the word a little bit more so it may actually help and maybe be surprising for someone else who isn't really checking in daily or weekly or whatever, and it may actually support them. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So for the topic today, I want to dive into this discussion where people get into a position where they're like, I can only start when people are believing me. I can only start when they trust me, right? I can only be myself when they are saying, I'm ready to receive you as the new you, right? I'm only ready when they approve that I can do it now. See, the thing is that people, they don't like change. You don't even like change, right? We don't like change because it's hard for us sometimes or often to fit our not schedule, but our uncomfortness into a new role. Okay, we have difficulties to fit in because for us it feels like we are losing something, and our body doesn't like that. Our ego maybe doesn't like that, okay? Because if we are losing something, then we have to adjust, and adjusting is work. Okay, most of the things that we are doing in this life is automatic. Okay, I'm driving the car, I'm not really thinking, oh, do I turn left or right? I know where to go, for example. So I'm not consciously using my brain that much, right? But if I change all of a sudden that friendship, like, or what I want to do, then I'm also asking other people to adjust, right? They don't like that. And you don't like that. So we have been trained to fit into the group because it's difficult for people to change. Now, if I'm waiting until people approve what I'm doing, right? For example, really the best example I have is me building my own business, me starting as a coach. I've received so much weird feedback, I cannot even tell you. So if you're watching from US, it might be for you, why? Because in the US, it's quite common. People regularly go to someone and they talk, and that's quite a normal thing there. It's almost like going to a hairdresser, right? Now in Switzerland, it's a bit different. Switzerland is not so open in that sense, and people here, they are not really into talking about themselves. They feel weird to talk about themselves because they don't want to look a certain way. Someone told me once that they don't want to look as they would be in an ego kind of place, right? It's only about me and my pain, and that's why I'm coming, and blah, blah, blah. But the point is, being a coach and helping other people is not really about you starting to be, hey, it's only me and only I'm important. It's actually starting to learn who you are, because that way, what you're giving out and what you're able to receive is on a way higher level. And that is something I learned can be learned, you know? That is something that I feel is something that we haven't really learned here. And we haven't learned to really check in and actually really start to look at how are we doing? We haven't done that. So I've received many weird questions, right? Many weird questions. And see, if I would have waited until I received an approval that is, hey, what you're doing is great. I really like that. Go for it. If I would have received that for most of the cases, then that would be, you know, that would be great. But generally, it's not working that way. Generally, it's rather a, really? You want to be a life coach? Oh gosh, this is so weird, you know? And then you start to be all about fairies and angels, and they started this way. And I had really my own issues with that, right? Because it's about you're going public that you want to be a coach in an environment that is not really open for that. And maybe even now, 4 or 5 years later, people are still not that open to that. And I still receive many people who don't understand why I'm doing that. And I'm totally okay with that, you see. I don't need people to get it, right? People generally come back when they see the business is running and they want something from the cake, right? I always knew that it's going to work. And I'm like, yeah, and I suffered, you know? I had my hard times. And so they will always be here, the hard times. And so that's what I mean with, if I would have waited until people believe in me, I would have never been there. So what you have to do, and what is the most important thing, is you have to learn how to trust yourself to actually believe in you. Okay? And you are doing this simply by going step by step by step. And if you fall, you get up again. If you fall, one more time, one more time, one more time. And you just keep doing until you reach the level where you don't care anymore if you fall, because you know eventually you will get up again. And it's not really a matter of if others approve or if others say yes, but people will, or most people will not really help you when you're not believing in yourself. But if you are already scared to start a dream, you may not fully believe in yourself. You see, you may not trust yourself because it's new and it's uncomfortable and you have no idea what's coming. And you're maybe scared and you maybe don't even know what you're doing. You have no idea, right? You have no clue. And you just try your very best and you can't understand why people don't believe in you and why they don't trust. It's because you don't trust yourself. You don't believe in yourself. And people usually don't trust someone who doesn't trust themselves, which is quite logic, right? I mean, why would someone trust you if you don't trust yourself? I mean, when you start to think about it, it makes quite sense. But when you're in this just trying to get help mode uh, in a situation like this, then you actually want someone who is just compassionate and tries to see you, right? That's basically it. You have to learn to see yourself. You have to learn to get into a position where you start to believe in who you are is right. And you have the right to be here. You have the right to show up. You have the right to speak. And if no one cares or if no one is interested in what you share, then let it be. That's okay. Maybe you just had to share something just because. And there's no real reason for that, if you're entering a relationship that no one understands and no one believes in your relationship, you know, sometimes we just have to try. We have to try before we know something is for us or not. And not trying is For me, not trying is not really an option. But, and I will say but, you have to understand and learn your tendencies. If your tendency is, yeah, I'm just gonna do that, I wanna quit today and I'm going to rush into something. So, because I did that, as a little side note, don't do that, don't do that. Because there's easier ways to really start a little bit more smooth. You don't have to go the way I did. Many people ask me, how did you start? And I'm like, ooh, you don't want to start like I did. You don't want to do that because the fall was big. And I learned a lot of it. I mean, definitely. When I could do it again, I would probably plan a little more, or not plan, but I would do it a little bit different. I would probably have some other ideas on how to build my business. But back then, it was I just wanted something new. And I was quite ready to move into very, very uncomfortable territory. And it was so uncomfortable because everyone around me, even close people, were like, what are you doing? Are you weird? Like, are you nuts? What's wrong? Right? And I didn't totally believe in myself. Not at all. People tell me that I have so much courage. Like, no, that wasn't courage. That was being stupid. Right? That was just stupid, plain stupid. But it's not to go back in time and punish me at all. I just know, and you need to know how you act. That's another thing. When you start to realize how you act, and when you always fall the same way, you may not want to fall again the same way. You see, you have to be a little bit smart, okay? Be smart and gentle to yourself and learn from those experiences that actually brought you down. And when they come again, don't just do this and do the same thing again. It's kind of like, why? Why would you do that, right? But sometimes we're so close that we don't see it. So what is really important is that you are looking into, if no one believes you, you got to question yourself. Why am I not believing in myself? Because it's a reflection, right? People reflect what you really think very, very often. Not if they are very much in their own disturbed zone, but very, very often the people you meet have something inside of you that is reflecting, and you see it because it's something that your awareness is on. If that is a good or a bad thing, or however you want to see it, doesn't really matter. You gotta acknowledge that this is a reminder. It's a So don't just walk blindly into situations that make you uncomfortable. Do it with a little bit more preparation. Okay? Prepare yourself is key. And don't rush too much, because you have the time. You have the time to go slow. Go slow. Go slow and steady. That's way better. Way better. I used to run into whatever I really wanted. And gosh, I fell so many times. It took me so long to get this point. So don't do that. Don't do that part. So I want to also share with you right now that I'm actually having a new promotion up, or a new program up, and it's about circling together. So what we will do is we will be women only who are ready to circle together, who are ready to clean up the mess, who are ready to dive into who they truly are, who are ready to feel it all and to just tap into mysteries they have not been in. This course is for people who have been in coachings, who haven't been in coachings. There is not something that you need to reach or have reached a certain level. It's about, do you want to know more about yourself? Do you want to live a life that is actually for you and not against you? Then this is definitely for you. It's a workshop that will pretty much expand who you are. Um, it will give you a lot of insight on your deepest desires, on your purpose. It will show you where your pain points are. But instead of just opening up that Pandora box, we will start to move our body. We will start to practice. We will start to learn what it really means to process emotions through our body. Because our body is not just a meat suit. It's very, very crucial that people understand that the body itself is very powerful. So you can see this when people have experienced some maybe hardship, and a person is standing in front of you who reminds you of something, and all of a sudden you start to freeze. You start to experience the same thing again, but it's not that person. So do you really think that the mind was as quick to bring this into your awareness? No, that was your body. Your body brought back that pain, that suffering, and it's here to remind you, hey, I have actually something for you to process. Can you please let me process? Can you please hold the space so that I can process and stop swallowing me down again? Right? So it's a kind of like learning the circle of life. It's kind of like learning how to really process emotions and start to see that you're not the only one who has issues. We all have certain parts that are heavy, that are light, right? It will give you power, because the power you have from deep within is actually the power that you experience afterwards outside. You will meet new people, people who may be very different to the people you met now. You start to see the world differently. You start to recognize who you are and what you're not, which is very important. Very important. So if you're interested, I actually have a code here for you that you can use for a 10% off. And it's going to be valid for, I think, 10 more days. I will list this in the description box so you get to see all of it. Check it out, and if this is a calling for you, fantastic, we meet there. I'm super excited for this one. I'm very, very much into preparation already, because the start date will only be in March 19th, where we will see each other pretty much every second week for 13 weeks. And in addition, you will have integration weeks, you will have processing weeks, where here in Switzerland there is local holidays, and I'm going to use that to have those workshops ready that need time for you to process. Sometimes having weekly sessions is too heavy and you need a little process time in between, and that's exactly why we scheduled it the way they are right now. And so yeah, I'm very, very excited for you. Once again, thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this video, then give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure to subscribe, and we see each other very soon. Thanks and goodbye.